Hey everyone, Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and in this video we're taking a look at the WeatherTech No Drill Mud Flaps in black, fitting 2022 and newer Tundras. Whether your truck is a pavement pounder or one that sees a ton of off-road, keeping mud, dirt, and other damaging debris away from the paint is important, not just for looks, but for longevity. These mud flaps from WeatherTech ensure that your truck will suffer less damage and indignity from road and trail debris, and they install with no drilling or permanent modifications required. In my eyes at least, mud flaps are a must on almost any truck, especially if you're lifted or running some beefy wheels and tires. Now these no drill units from the masters of interior protection products, WeatherTech, make keeping your truck clean and easy. This is a full set of 4 mud flaps, 2 front and 2 rear, and they are specifically molded to fit your Tundra perfectly. So it's going to guard against rock chips, dirt, mud, other debris, etc. And they look like what could have come on your truck from the factory, and they bolt on like factory parts too. The no drill part of the name here is true. They are designed to fit using the existing bolts on your inner wheel wells, even though WeatherTech includes some additional hardware for you. So you can just pop those off, slide these into place, and bolt them right back on. Easy. And no drilling means that they're not going to increase the risk of your truck getting rusty in one of those key areas. And they're just the right size as well, even if you are running some wider wheels and tires on your truck. They stick out a bit proud of the fenders, giving your rocker panels and lower doors plenty of protection from anything you might encounter. WeatherTech uses precision laser measuring to ensure perfect fit for each application, and the mud flaps themselves are made from a proprietary thermoplastic resin. So these are lightweight, they're super durable, and they do have a little bit of give to them in case you catch them on something. Plus they come finished in this nice texture black, so they're going to look good against pretty much any paint color. And like all of WeatherTech's products, these are designed and made right here in the USA. Pricing comes in at about $225 for the set, which, while it's not a drop in the bucket, is quite a bit less expensive than the ones you get from Toyota. And these will perform just as well, if not better, than those mud flaps. So for less money and the same or better outcome, you really can't go wrong with picking up a set. Installation really couldn't be much easier. We're going to give these a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you about 1 hour to complete. You don't even need to take the wheels off to get this job done. Everything is going to just bolt right into place. No drilling, no modification, no mess. Not much more I can say about it here in the studio, so with that, let's head on out to the shop and we'll walk you through the process.
The tools you'll need for this project are a 1/4-inch drive ratchet and a 10mm socket. Hi everyone. Today we're installing a set of mud flaps on our Tundra, so let's get started. All right, first thing we're going to talk about before we actually get to the install is you want to make sure that your truck is clean before you start this process. So make sure that you wash it real good, get all the dust and dirt off of it, and then the kit also comes with this protection film to apply to the vehicle to go underneath the mud flap to help protect your paint. Now, because we're not going to make this a permanent addition to our truck, we're not going to go through the process of applying this film, but basically it's going to go right here along the edge of the fender to help protect the paint on the fender from any rubbing that may occur from the mud flap. So let's go ahead and get started with our install of the mud flap. Now, once you've got your protection film applied to the fender, next thing we're going to do is turn your wheel to the left if you're working on the driver's side first, or turn it to the right if you're working on the passenger side first. And then we've got 3 bolts that need to be removed. One right here, one right here, and then there's one directly underneath the bottom here. We're going to use our 10mm socket to remove those bolts. And now we'll get the one on the bottom, right here. All right, now your mud flaps are side specific and they are labeled on the back, either LH for left hand, which is the driver's side, or RH for the right hand, which is the passenger side. So you want to make sure that you've got the correct side as well as the correct position, whether it be the front or the rear. One way to tell is that the front ones are offset holes on the side of the mud flap here, and they match the holes that we took out on the stock vehicle. So we do have some supplied bolts that come with the kit, so we'll be using those. And again, we'll be using our 10mm socket to install them. So we'll go ahead and place our mud flap in position, line up the holes, and then insert the supplied bolts into the holes. Now we'll get the one on the bottom started. Now we can tighten them up with our 10mm socket. And finally, we'll get the one on the bottom. All right, now to install the rear one is very similar to the front. You'll notice though, when you get back here that there are 4 bolts right at the bottom, but 2 of them are a silver color and 2 of them are black color. So you want to line up the holes in your mud flap to make sure that you're removing the right ones, which in our case, and it'll probably be in your case as well, the 2 black ones at the bottom, and then another one here underneath the fender. So let's go ahead and get those removed. So again, using our 10mm socket, we'll remove these bolts. And then get the other one underneath. Now we can go ahead and place our mud flap up against the fender, and using the supplied bolts, get those started. And now we'll tighten them down with our 10mm socket. And now you can repeat that whole process for the other side.
That's going to wrap it up here for our review and install of the WeatherTech No Drill mud flaps in black, fitting 2022 and newer Tundras. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, for all things Tundra, be sure to keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.